Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Coffee Shop Thursday. It's a chilly morning. I feel like I'm getting the cold shoulder out here. It's only in the low 50s. You know what? Maybe it's our prophet Amos, who we're going to look at today, who's getting the cold shoulder from the prophet Amaziah. Or is it Amaziah getting the cold shoulder from Amos? Or is it Israel getting the cold shoulder from Yahweh? Oh, man, there's all kind of cold shoulders everywhere today. So what's going on? Well, if we were in the alternate Old Testament cycle of readings, we would have a passage from Amos, the 7th chapter. It starts with verse 7 and goes through the end of the chapter. It's not all that long. And it's in the midst of a series of visions that Amos is given to give to the people of Israel. Now, here's what we need to understand. Amos is an outsider. That's why we're going to see him getting the cold shoulder from Amaziah, who is the insider. He's the insider prophet, the one who's been appointed by the king to be the prophet of Israel. Well, why is Amos an outsider? Because Amos is from Judah. At this point, the United Kingdom has fractured. You have Israel, the 10 tribes to the north, Judah, 2 of the tribes to the south. And, well, in a nutshell, things were going great for Israel to the north. Very prosperous, rich. Unfortunately, it was at the expense of the common person. The rich were getting super rich. The poor, the majority of the people, were being exploited. It was not a good picture. And, well, we have 2 visions that Amos was told to give to the people, and both times Amos said, oh man, these are visions of utter destruction. I can't do this, God. And God relents. He said, okay, I won't do it. I won't cause all this destruction. But in the third one, that's where God kind of draws a line and says, no, this is what's going to happen. And what it is, it's the vision of the plumb line. You know, the plumb line, that's that piece of string that you hold up like this. At the bottom is a lead weight, and it shows just how straight the wall is that you're building. And if it's out of plumb, you've heard that expression before, it means it's tilted one way or the other, and it's in danger of collapse. That's exactly what's going on in Israel to the north. It's in danger of collapse. Why? Because the people are out of plumb with God's will for their lives. They're tilting the wrong direction. That's what Amos came to do and to say. Now, he's the outsider. Amaziah didn't like what he was saying, so he told him, get out of town, bud. This is my territory. The people don't want to hear what you have to say. And Amos basically said, hey, it's not my choice. I'm just a farmer. God's the one that yanked me out of the field and sent me up here to tell you what's going on and to help you get your act together. So if you want to hear it, then don't hear it. But I'm going to say it anyhow. And, well, yeah, it's quite a prophetic word of judgment. It's a tough one that we hear through here. And in fact, he's really lambasting the king, Jeroboam II, because under his reign, indeed, economically, things were horrible for the common person in Israel. But the rich lived in such opulence that it was absolutely ridiculous. And that's what God is calling into account for the people, saying, hey, stop this. This is nonsense. And there's some other things going on too, like some of the worship practices. They incorporated quite a bit of worship of foreign gods as well, and that's not acceptable to Yahweh. So a lot of things going on. Read it. It's in Amos, the 7th chapter. In fact, the whole book of Amos is not all that long. I'm looking now. It is 9 chapters long, but it's powerful, and boy, does it cut deep. It hurts. It hurt the people, and like I said, they didn't want to hear it, but Amos said, I've just got to say it. God told me to. I have to. And it is truth. Sometimes the truth really hurts. Amos is included amongst those minor prophets, the big ones being like Isaiah and Jeremiah, Ezekiel. Those are the big three. The rest are categorized as minor prophets, and one of the reasons why is they were able to write all their books into one scroll, whereas the other ones, they took their own scrolls. That's how long they were. Read it. It kind of is a wake-up call to all of us as to how we are living our lives as God's people. Are we truly being faithful in how we handle our affairs, how we handle our money, how we handle our relationships with our neighbors and those around us? Very pointed in what he had to say, and not very pleasant words at that. Well, it is kind of a wake-up call. Maybe this would have been better for Wake Up Wednesday, right? Might have been. But here it is. Read it. Good passage. Amos chapter 7, verses 7 through 17. That's the verses that we have for our lectionary reading. God's blessings be with you. And it is going to be another beautiful and gorgeous day out here. So maybe we'll let these words penetrate and sink in, and we will say, thank you, God, for your beautiful creation. Help us to live the lives that you want us to live in this world that at times is so messed up and so topsy-turvy, but you are still in control. Blessings be with you all.